Have you ever wondered what love really looks like when it's real, when it's deep, genuine, and built to last? Not the kind that fades when things get hard, not the kind that disappears when you stop pretending to be perfect, but the kind that stays, the kind that shows up even on the days you feel like you've got nothing left to give. That's when you begin to understand what it means to be truly loved by a woman who sees you, not just for who you are in your best moments, but for everything you are in your worst. And still, she stays. Still, she chooses you. There's something powerful about being chosen, not once, but again and again. Not because it's easy, not because everything is perfect, but because she's made the decision that you are worth standing beside, even when you fall short, even when life gets messy. A woman who genuinely loves you doesn't love you for who you pretend to be. She loves you for who you are when no one else is looking, when the mask slips, when your guard is down, when the truth is raw and the walls are crumbling. She sees all of it, and still she stays. That's not ordinary, that's not common, that's rare. And that kind of love changes everything. Because in a world where people give up the moment things get hard, she's the one who holds on. In a world chasing perfection, she chooses grace. When she could walk away, she chooses to work through it, to grow through it, to stand beside you even when she's tired. That kind of love isn't loud. It doesn't always show up in grand gestures or dramatic words. Sometimes it's quiet. It's in the way she checks in with you after a long day. It's in the way she sits next to you in silence when you have nothing to say. It's in the way she supports your dreams, even when she doesn't understand them fully, because she believes in the man behind them. And here's why this matters. Because when someone truly chooses you, they give you something the world rarely offers: security. Not just physical, but emotional. The kind of security that tells you you're not alone, you're worth the effort, you matter. And when you have that, when you feel that, you grow differently. You dream bigger, you fight harder. Because deep down, you know that no matter what life throws at you, someone is in your corner, someone believes in you. And belief, real unwavering belief, can move mountains. So if she loves you, if she truly loves you, she will choose you over fear, over pride, over convenience, over silence. And that right there is the kind of love that builds empires, not just relationships. That is the kind of love that doesn't just stay, it helps you rise. And that's why you need to keep watching. Because this is only the beginning. When a woman genuinely loves you, she doesn't just notice your smile, she notices the silence behind it. She doesn't wait for you to fall apart to realize something is wrong. She feels it. Before you speak, before you admit you're hurting. Because when she loves you, your pain echoes inside her. She carries it with you, not because she has to, but because your heart matters to her more than her own comfort. That's not just emotion, that's connection. That's a bond built from care so deep it transcends words. Most people look at pain and turn away. They fear it, they avoid it. But not her, not when she loves you. She doesn't run from the parts of you that feel broken. She sits with them. She listens without judgment. She stands beside you even when you're too tired to stand for yourself. And in those quiet, heavy moments when the world feels like it's falling in on you, she's the one reminding you that you don't have to carry it all alone. You may be strong, yes, but even the strongest needs someone who sees their struggle and stays anyway. This is where real love becomes something more than affection. It becomes presence. Not just in the good days, but especially in the hard ones. She doesn't offer quick fixes or shallow advice. She doesn't tell you to man up or pretend nothing's wrong. She leans in, she listens. She holds the space your soul needs to breathe again. And in that space, something begins to shift. The shame starts to fade. The weight feels lighter. Because love like this doesn't pressure you to heal faster. It gives you permission to be human. She becomes your peace in a world that expects you to keep it all together. She becomes the calm in your chaos, not by controlling you, but by supporting you. Not by fixing your life, but by reminding you that you're not defined by your struggle. You're defined by your strength to face it. And she sees that strength even when you can't. When someone loves you like that, it awakens something in you. It awakens the desire to grow, to heal, to rise, not because you're being pushed, but because you're being believed in. There's no greater motivation than knowing your pain is not invisible, that it matters to someone else, that someone sees what you're going through and still sees you as whole, as enough. That's what love does when it's real. It doesn't shy away from the hard moments. It doesn't retreat in fear. It moves closer, it shows up, and it stands firm. When she loves you, she doesn't just love who you are when everything is fine. She loves you through the storm. And sometimes just knowing that is what keeps you going. Because real love doesn't just make you feel good, it makes you feel safe. And that kind of love changes the way you see everything, including yourself. When a woman truly loves you, she doesn't wait for you to succeed before she supports your vision. She sees it when it's still a whisper, when no one else does. She doesn't need proof to believe in you. Her belief is instinctive, unconditional. She's not there to watch you build. She's there to build with you, shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart. She becomes your partner not just in love, but in life, in purpose, in progress. And that changes everything. Her love isn't passive. It's active, alive, driven. She shows up not just with words, but with action. She makes room for your growth. She gives her energy to your goals. She asks questions not because she doubts you, but because she wants to understand what fuels you. Because your dream becomes her mission too. And when someone stands with you like that, you begin to carry yourself differently. Not because you've arrived, but because you're not walking alone anymore. When life throws distractions, she helps you refocus. When doubt creeps in, she reminds you of who you are. Not with loud speeches, but with steady presence. The kind that helps you breathe deeper. Think clearer, fight harder. That's what real love does. It doesn't take you off your path. It strengthens your stride. It reminds you that the man you're becoming is worth every struggle, every setback, every silent battle no one sees. You start to realize you're not just building for yourself anymore. You're building for something bigger, for the connection, for the partnership, for the future she sees with you even before the pieces fall into place. And that kind of loyalty, that kind of belief becomes a fuel that never runs dry. Because when someone loves you deeply, they don't wait for the finish line to celebrate you. They celebrate the effort, the grind, the late nights and early mornings. They see your fight and they honor it. She doesn't compete with your ambition, she contributes to it. She doesn't feel threatened by your growth, she helps nurture it. And in a world where so many relationships crumble under pressure, hers gives you strength. Not because she's perfect, not because everything is easy, but because she's committed. Not just to the outcome, but to the process. You'll know it's real when she encourages you, even when she's tired. When she believes in the mission, even when the results haven't shown up yet. Because love like that isn't based on comfort or convenience. It's built on vision, on alignment, on shared purpose. And when you feel that beside you, your excuses start to fade. Your distractions lose their power. You start to rise, not just for yourself, but for both of you. This kind of love doesn't slow you down. It makes you unstoppable. Because when you have someone who builds with you, failure stops being the end. It becomes part of the journey. And in that journey, love becomes your greatest strength. When a woman genuinely loves you, she speaks to you in ways that go deeper than words. Her respect is not just shown when things are easy. It's revealed most clearly in moments of disagreement, in times of tension, when emotions run high. Real love doesn't just show up when it's convenient. It shows up with maturity, with dignity, with care. She doesn't weaponize your weaknesses. She doesn't belittle your dreams or question your worth. She speaks to you like someone she values, because she does. Respect is the foundation love stands on. Without it, love collapses into control, resentment, or silence. But when she loves you, she sees you as a man of worth. She doesn't just love your heart. She honors your mind, your voice, your decisions. She trusts your intention, even when she doesn't understand your process. And that trust builds a bond that few things can break, because it tells you one thing: she sees you as an equal, as a teammate, as someone worth listening to. This kind of respect fuels everything else. It's what allows you to be honest, to speak your truth, to show up authentically without fear of being judged or dismissed. When a woman truly loves you, your voice matters to her. Your feelings matter. Your thoughts carry weight. Not because you're always right, but because your presence is deeply valued. You're not just another man in her life, you are her chosen one. And she treats you like it, not by pampering your ego, but by protecting your dignity. Disagreements don't become battles. They become bridges. She doesn't try to win over you. She tries to win with you. That kind of communication builds safety. It creates a space where growth can happen. where vulnerability isn't a weakness but a strength, where even your flaws can be brought into the light and met with grace instead of criticism. And here's the truth. When someone respects you deeply, it changes how you show up in every area of life. You begin to carry yourself with more clarity. You make decisions with more confidence. You hold your head higher, not because you're better than anyone else, but because you know someone out there sees your value even when the world doesn't. That kind of emotional foundation doesn't just heal you, it empowers you. It strengthens the parts of you that life may have worn down. So if you feel her respect in the way she listens, in the way she speaks your name, in the way she disagrees without destroying, don't take that lightly. That's rare, that's sacred, that's love with integrity. And that kind of love will not just challenge you to grow, it will inspire you to rise. Because when someone truly respects you, they don't just give you love, they help you believe you're worthy of it. And that belief can transform everything. When a woman genuinely loves you, her loyalty is not something you ever have to question. It's something you feel in your soul. It's not loud or dramatic. It doesn't need to be proven with grand declarations. It's steady, it's quiet, it's constant. She doesn't flirt with options. She doesn't entertain distractions. Her heart is all in, even when life gets complicated, even when you're going through seasons where you're not your best. Her loyalty doesn't depend on perfection. It depends on commitment. And when that kind of loyalty is real, it becomes one of the most powerful forces in your life. She doesn't shift her energy depending on the circumstances. Her love remains rooted even when storms come. She chooses presence over convenience, faith over fear. Her loyalty shows up in the way she defends you when you're not around, in the way she protects your name, in the way she holds the line when temptations rise and opinions try to sway her. Because her connection to you is built on something deeper than surface attraction. It's built on soul-level truth. She knows who you are. She's chosen that man. And she's not going anywhere. That kind of loyalty gives you more than just reassurance. It gives you a foundation, a place to breathe, a place to rest your heart when the world feels cold. In her presence, you don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't have to fight to keep her attention. You don't have to wonder if she's 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You can just be. And being loved like that, fully without fear, heals you in places you didn't even know were broken. Real loyalty also means she holds you accountable, not from a place of control, but from a place of care. She doesn't abandon you when you stumble. She stands by you, challenges you, reminds you of who you are when you forget. She's loyal not only to your relationship, but to your growth. She doesn't let you settle. She doesn't let you shrink. She wants to see you rise, not for her benefit, but because she truly wants the best for you. That's love. That's rare. That's sacred. In a world where loyalty is often traded for attention, when you find someone who stays consistent through uncertainty, hold her close. Because loyalty like that doesn't just support your journey, it strengthens your identity. It helps you trust again. It rebuilds your confidence. It tells you that even when you fall, you are still worthy of love, still worthy of respect, still worth fighting for. So when her actions match her words, when she's still there even when life gets hard, when she keeps choosing you day after day, understand what you have. You don't have just a partner. You have a force, a commitment, a presence that won't fold under pressure. And that kind of loyalty doesn't just stand the test of time. It transforms it. It makes every moment richer, every setback smaller, and every victory feel like home. When a woman genuinely loves you, she makes you feel seen in a way the world never could. She doesn't just look at what you do, she notices who you are beneath it all. She pays attention to your patterns, your tone, your silence. She notices the things you don't say, the weight you carry behind your eyes, the way your energy shifts when something's off. And instead of pulling away, she leans in. Because her love isn't passive, it's attentive, it's tuned in. And when someone sees you like that, it awakens something powerful inside you. The freedom to be fully known and still fully accepted. You don't have to put on a show. You don't have to filter your truth. You don't have to act tougher than you feel. With her, you can lay down your armor because she sees past the mask. She sees the battle behind the calm. And instead of judging you for your flaws, she embraces them. Not because she's blind to them, but because she knows they're part of your story, part of your depth, part of what makes you human. And that kind of understanding doesn't just bring comfort, it brings healing. Most people only see the surface. They praise the image, they chase the title, But she sees your essence. She sees your intent even when your execution falls short. She sees your struggle and still believes in your strength. That kind of love builds a deep emotional safety, the kind that gives you permission to grow without pretending, to become without performing, because when you are truly seen, you begin to shed the pressure to be anyone else. Her attention isn't just romantic, it's intentional. She learns how to love you in your language. She pays attention to what makes you feel valued. She remembers the small things, the details others overlook. And in those moments when she adjusts her energy to meet your needs, you realize something important. Being loved like this doesn't feel like work. It feels like being home. It feels like peace. And peace, when it's real, is transformative. It recenters you. It strengthens your spirit. It brings clarity where chaos once lived. When you're seen, when you're truly understood, you no longer chase validation, you walk in purpose, because you know someone has taken the time to know your soul, not just your smile. And that knowing becomes a mirror. It reflects the parts of you that matter most, even when the world tells you to hide them. So, if her love makes you feel recognized, valued, and deeply understood, don't ignore it. Don't downplay it. That's not common. That's not ordinary. That's something sacred. When someone sees you fully and still chooses to stay, still chooses to love, that's not just love, that's alignment. And alignment like that doesn't just support you, it changes you. It brings out your highest self. Because when you are loved for who you truly are, you finally become who you were always meant to be. When a woman genuinely loves you, she protects your peace like it's her own. She doesn't bring chaos into your life, she brings calm. She doesn't thrive on drama or emotional games. Her love isn't about control, it's about care. She understands that real connection requires more than attraction. It requires stability, trust, and emotional safety. And so she becomes intentional about the energy she brings into your world. She speaks in ways that soothe, not stir confusion. She moves in ways that create comfort, not tension, because her goal isn't to keep you guessing. It's to help you breathe. Love should never feel like a battlefield. You shouldn't have to fight for clarity, for honesty, for peace of mind. When she loves you, she makes it clear. You know where you stand. You're not caught in a cycle of highs and lows, constantly questioning her feelings or doubting your place in her life. Her consistency becomes your refuge. Her emotional intelligence becomes your protection. She's not trying to win arguments, she's trying to win with you. And that difference changes everything. She doesn't use silence as punishment, she doesn't hold affection hostage, she doesn't play with your emotions to get control. Her maturity shows in the way she manages conflict, with respect, with patience, with a desire to understand rather than dominate. That's not weakness, that's strength. It takes strength to remain soft in a world that often rewards hardness. It takes strength to create peace in a relationship instead of constantly chasing power. And that strength is what makes her love feel safe. You begin to realize that real love doesn't just feel good, it feels grounding. It centers you. It stabilizes your spirit. It allows you to be emotionally available without being emotionally drained. Because when peace exists between two people, love has room to grow deeper. Communication flows better. Intimacy becomes effortless. And presence becomes enough. A woman who protects your peace doesn't just add to your life, she elevates it. She doesn't take away from your focus, your energy, your goals, she enhances them. She gives you room to expand, to dream bigger, to reach further. Because you're not spending your energy defending your heart. You're using that energy to build something meaningful, something lasting, something rooted in truth. And in that truth, you find strength, you find clarity, you find freedom. Because when you no longer have to guard yourself from the person who claims to love you, you're finally free to grow into everything you were meant to be. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be present. She meets you there, fully, honestly, calmly. So when she brings peace, honor it. Don't mistake it for passivity. Don't overlook it because it's not loud. True peace doesn't need volume. It speaks through consistency, through stability, through love that doesn't demand chaos to feel alive. That kind of peace is rare. And when you find it, you don't just hold on. You rise with it. You become more because of it.